Virgo, I feel like you have been working really hard at tackling different types of connections. I feel like you've been looking at maybe your fears around connecting, or maybe there's just a certain type of connection that you have been evaluating. I just kept seeing like, I saw you like walk up to someone and then I saw like all of this stuff go on like up above in your brain. And I got like this intense like focus that you were like focusing on them and like trying to figure them out or trying to, because I don't know why there's confusion and fog here, but I don't know, there's some type of connection and it feels like more romantic to me that you've been trying to figure out something in, and I don't know what that is exactly, but I'm going to look into it. And I also feel like you've been working on expanding your viewpoints around maybe your wounding or where you felt left out in the cold and why. I feel like you've been looking at your defenses and your fears and your wounding specifically around family, connection, relationships, and possibly friendships. Friendships don't feel as apt here. I know this is really specific, so I'm sorry, it just is. But you've been looking to really change something, and I feel like you've been looking at like what choices you've been making and how that's been panning out. And I do feel this strong want to connect with something or somebody. And I don't know what that's about, but I want to look into it. But you have been expanding on the way you think about things. And it specifically is like the way you think about your wounding or the subconscious or your dreams or visions or something like even more mystical, but it feels more tied to like healing than anything else. Like you're trying to be more open to like new healing modalities or different ways of regulating yourself or different ways of like, again, like looking at like you're looking at your relationship to things, to people, to healing, to your life, to the choices that you make. And it's really big. Okay. I want to get into the tarot because I feel like I'm not getting as much information as I'd like. What's going on with Virgo? Okay, hold on. Death and rebirth. Wow. This is like a huge transformation you're going through over like, it specifically looks like romantic connections. And it doesn't just have to be romantic connections because it feels tied to like pleasure. It feels tied to desire, pleasure, your dreams, and even small things that bring you joy. Like that's coming through too. Like I feel like you're going through a total transformation around like your relationship to everything. Like that's how big it feels to me. And your relationship to balance situations, equal give and take, to relationships with other people and what that looks like. Your relationships right now would be undergoing like a really big change or a really big internal restructuring of, again, I feel like there's like such a huge restructuring going on within you. It feels like a very big ego deconstruction happening right now. Like you feel differently than you used to. You think differently than you used to. You're noticing how you're thinking and what you feel has been changing over time. But it feels like, you know what it feels like to me? It feels like it took you a long time to see these changes. And so I don't know. It feels like you were maybe implementing like one, I don't know why I'm getting it like this, but this is what I'm getting. You may have been implementing like one healing thing that was like kind of like not the thing that you were normally comfortable with, or maybe you were applying like a thought or a way of doing something in a different way, and you applied it in like one instance, and then you'd have like you do your stuff your normal way and then you apply it again, and then you like, I don't know, like I'm getting like this weird like timeline thing where like you keep doing this small different action. It's like a very different, not the way you would feel comfortable doing it. Like you're doing an opposite action of what you're comfortable with. And it feels specifically tied to healing. I don't know, I'm getting really interesting. It feels specifically tied to your healing and how you show up for yourself and even the way that you view things. Like you're changing the way that you view the world, yourself in relation to the world. Like it feels very macro to me, but it feels macro to me in the way that like of what you're thinking about, but it feels like internal the way that it's happening. Like it feels like very, very internal to me, which makes sense. You're Virgo. Like, of course, that is it's very internal, and you're very good at reflecting. And so, and finding the light within situations and finding your way back to your center. And so I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, like a total restructuring of your inner world. That's what it feels like to me. And and you would feel like a little bit discombobulated maybe, but I do feel like it's been a slow process. I want to say that. But a slow process of like implementing things that you don't normally implement, and now you're kind of finally seeing like some of like, it feels like information you're getting to me. It feels like you're getting some type of information either in what you're seeing, what you're feeling, how you're reacting, what you want, what you really want, what you thought you wanted, you don't want, and what you do want, you didn't know you wanted. Like it's very like interesting the way I'm getting. It's like very like you might have been doing things for a very long time in a certain way, in maybe just a certain area of your life, or you may have been thinking in a very, very like rigid way in some area of your life. And I'm seeing you very much have evolved, and it feels like very tied to Jupiter. And I think Jupiter's already moved into Leo, or it's about to, either one, but it's definitely going to be in Leo for a while. And so I feel like Jupiter and Leo is helping you with this. It's helping like expand your mind and expand your heart, because maybe, I don't know, I get this feeling like you may have been shut off to connection, or you may have been shut off from your heart in some way, emotionally maybe shut down. Maybe you didn't know that though. Like I'm getting this feeling like I didn't know I was so shut down. I didn't know I felt so afraid. I didn't know I felt so defensive. And it's not like what I love about this is that you're so very much meeting yourself with so much compassion, and that is exactly what you're supposed to do. And I love this because you're really tackling and like confronting very, very, very difficult things. Like you're not like, oh, my way is a highway and like that's it. Like, and it may have taken you a minute to get here, and that's okay. But I do feel like there has been a huge reckoning or awakening around your thoughts, but specifically tied to relationships. But relationships to everything. Like that's how it feels to me. Okay. 6 of Pentacles. This is so big. This is so big. I'm so proud of you. This is so big. Okay. 2 of Pentacles. 2 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles. What's the 7 of Pentacles in reverse? King of Swords. Okay. What is this 7 of Pentacles in reverse? What is this? It looks like, I don't know. I'm getting this feeling like I want to build here, but I can't. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting. The Moon. Temperance, the Moon. Okay. I do feel like you've been in a long process. Okay. What is the 7 of Pentacles in reverse? I'm getting a few things. It's like, I'm seeing it like, you thought you had everything. I don't know why I've never got this from this card, but you thought you had everything like right side up, right? Like right side up. You thought you knew everything, and then like everything is kind of backwards. And I was feeling that already. I was saying that feeling of like everything is backwards. Like you really did genuinely think that things were going or were a certain way in the universe or in relationships or in some way. And there is 100% like, you're like, oh my God, this is not what I thought it was. Like, and this also could be, it doesn't have to be that, but I do feel like that's very strong. It also could be that you're realizing that where you're trying to grow, where you've been growing, hasn't actually been supporting your growth in a very real way. Like that feels very important. Like the soil that you've been trying to build in has not been conducive to who you actually are. But what's odd is that like, I think that's shocking to you. It feels shocking to me. Like, it's almost like, but I've been doing it this way for so long. I thought this was the answer. Like, and it worked. And I'm not saying it didn't work. It did work. But it's like, you're realizing that there's a difference between it works and it can work. Okay, it's working. But are you thriving? Like, are you excited about getting up the next day? Do you feel alive inside? Do you feel like this environment makes you feel empowered? Do you feel like this environment makes you feel like you're seen? Do you feel like this environment is authentically meeting you in a way that you feel like you want to be authentically met? Oh my God, it's so big. And also, to be fair with you, this would feel very, very, very unsettling. Like, because there's safety and comfort that we take when we think we know how something's going, and a change and an awakening this big is going to make you feel like you don't know up from down and down from up. You're going to feel like, I thought I knew things and now I feel like I don't know anything. And it's a really uncomfortable and scary place to be, but it's also super good. Like this is what sucks sometimes about the spiritual. It doesn't have to be spiritual, but for me it's more spiritual, but the way things, I don't know where I was going with that. I don't know why there's like a movement away from spirituality a little bit that you may be experiencing, but I feel like that's from the past. It feels like something old that makes, there's something that about that. Um, oh my God, I really, really lost it. I really did. Mm. Yeah. Okay. So this would feel very unsettling to your nervous system, 100%. Um, God, I really, really want to get it, but I don't think I'm going to get it, and that's okay. But I think if you knew, if I was explaining it a little bit, maybe you knew where I was going with that. Maybe not. Yeah, something about like the spiritual way. It's. God, I know, I want it so bad. It's like, Spirit, help me out here. The spiritual. I was talking about the spiritual way and how everything works, and I was, yeah, okay, so, oh yeah, that's what it was. Sometimes when we're going through an awakening, we can think it's gonna feel like what the feeling I'm getting here is, I feel like something that you may be feeling, right? Like the excitement over like, wow, I'm like finding new things and I'm feeling good, but you would also be like really unsettled by this. Your nervous system would be unsettled by this because you had a certain way of thinking and being in the world that was safe to you or safe to your ego. And so when that falls away, it can feel like really scary, uncomfortable, like you're not in the right place, like you don't know what you're doing, like all these things. But really, like the overarching theme is that like you're in like the best place ever. In terms of you're like becoming a clean slate, and becoming a clean slate means that you can finally step into yourself in a very empowered and alive way and embody who you actually are beneath all the conditioning, and then also then start to cultivate a life that is in resonance with who you are in actual alignment. And so like that's why this feels so big to me, because I know exactly like where you're at. And it's and like if you've never experienced this before, it can be very, again, extremely unsettling. But I do feel like you have more information than that. Like, I don't think you're just like, oh my God, like, I don't know what's going on. Like, you know, like enough, right? Like, I feel like you've been already kind of like, figuring this out on your own. Like you may have been, maybe you've been like interacting with the universe in a very different way than you before, and now you're seeing signs, right? Like there's some type of like pattern recognition. There's some type of like, you would see this, you would feel this, you would kind of like, you would know that you're going the right way, like even if most of the time you're like, this is uncomfortable, like, you know what I mean? So I just want to like explain that, like, because this may not feel the way I'm saying it, but there's so much beauty and expansiveness, and I'm also just like so proud of you and so your guides for even wanting to confront this stuff, because it's so hard. Like it's like the hardest thing to do, to confront your defenses, your fears, your wounding, your pain, your and all the things that need to transform on the outside of you that have like that do, because you're so changed, right? And that is hard too, because you start losing things that you really, really felt comfortable and safe in, because you're changing at such a deep level, but you're changing, you're removing conditioning that is not serving you, so that you can finally move and choose the way you want to choose. And so that's painful, right? To lose the things that our ego really felt safe in, or ego really wanted, or what we really thought we wanted, and realizing that it's not actually what we want. And then like the grief that comes from that, because there is a lot of grief that comes from having to walk away and remove things that aren't serving you. Even if they're not serving you, it's so hard to do, because we are so attached to it sometimes, right? Like it's such a, we once thought it's what we wanted, we felt safe in it, it was aligned maybe at the time, right? And it's really hard to, especially for fixed, which you're not, but we all have fixed energy in our chart. But if you're more fixed, if you have more fixed in your chart, right? Fixed energies, or even or earth energies, right? Okay, so the moon, let's see what the moon's about. This is huge. Justice, there's a rebalancing going on with your subconscious 100%, and things that are hidden, and specifically around long-term stability, family, relationships, and you're shining light on like, oh my gosh, this is so huge. Okay, so what's the 10 of Pentacles? Wow, this is so big. Like you cannot, you're really, there's a deep truth in your subconscious around family, and what is balanced and what is not balanced within a family unit, and what's balanced and what's not balanced in structure and stability and safety, in how how you react to those things. Like it, I want to get like one more though, because I feel like there's something else. What's a 10 of Pentacles? Ace of Cups. You're bringing so much love and truth to and light to your subconscious. This is so big. And it might not be like the way I explain it. Okay. Like I have a way of explaining this, but there's other ways I feel like, and I'm genuinely trying to like figure out different ways of saying this, because I always see the moon as a subconscious, but it's anything hidden, it's anything, you know, mystery, it's anything intuition, it's anything dealing with water. There's also something about, yeah, it's like you're understanding your triggers. Like I keep hearing you're understanding your triggers in a very different way. There's a huge amount of self-compassion and a want to see the truth, a want to have things balanced. And I do feel like there's something you've gotten a handle on, and there's a breakthrough that you're experiencing in your subconscious. 10 of Wands and Page of Cups. You know what I'm getting here? It's like either I feel like in the past or even now, you've been dealing with situations where you felt like to make the situation balanced, either with family, relationships, a job, anywhere in your life, you have had to be overwhelmed and fully burdened with all the work and all of the effort and everything. You've had to be off, almost like you've had to make up like as a counterbalance for a very unbalanced situation. Or yeah, that's kind of how, why would you have to be overwhelmed if the situation was balanced, right? I mean, you could be overwhelmed, but I'm not getting it like that. I'm getting like you've put in a lot of effort to create stability for yourself and balance. And you might have been in situations where you feel like you have to overgive or overwork to balance any situation. And I feel like that understanding, there's an understanding of that, which helps take the pressure off you. But there's also an understanding of why you don't want to move into something new necessarily all the time, because you've been feeling overwhelmed. You've been overburdened. It's like, I can't take any more on my plate. And so I'm seeing that like you're clocking like this type of imbalance. And it feels deeply tied to your subconscious and the past, and like you could have experienced when you were a child, like you always had to be the one achieving, or you always had to get great grades, or you always had to be like the perfect student, or you always had to overwork yourself or show off or perform. Like there's something about performance and always having to be like the balanced one, yes, but you're technically off balance, but no one knew it. It's like nobody knew you were off balance. And I think now even that's a problem. I think people don't know you're off balance because you're so good at taking the weight. Like but I think the understanding of that and the truth that you're coming to around that, it's like, I don't want to do that anymore. Like I don't have to be in this type of imbalanced situation anymore. I know that I'm the one that brings balance. Like I know that I'm the one that can take up the extra weight. So why am I dealing with any type of situation where I feel like I have to overpower and overgive to create a balanced situation when I can create that with myself? It's like, that's the type of truth you're coming to. And it may not be exactly like that, but it feels like somewhere around the realm of what that is. Oh my God, this is so deep. I cannot. This is like so deep. I got 8 of Cups on the back of the deck. You might be walking away. You're walking away from some type of heartache, definitely. But you might be also walking away from heartbreaking situations. And you might have been walking away emotionally in your head away from old situations. Like old heartbreaks, old resentments, old betrayals, old pains. That's what I'm saying. This is so big. Okay. Is there anything else should I go with what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next for Virgo? What's going to happen next? The Star. I love it. You're following your heart. You're following your dreams. You might be walking into a new cycle. Holy crap. Holy crap. Holy crap. Holy crap. This is so big. You're going next. You're healing extremely deeply. You have been, but you are, there's like a culmination of the healing in a big way that you're going to be able to really like visualize and see and know that you may off kill. It's like, you know, this, oh, how do I explain this? It's like you've been feeling it, but you only like feel it sometimes, and then you're starting to feel it more, and then it's gonna like, it's like culminating into like a bigger feeling. And then there's this understanding of like, once this breakthrough of like, I don't know, it feels like bravery, it feels like going after your dreams, it feels like taking the reins, it feels like being the change, right? Like that's what I'm feeling. And you're opening a cycle into something where you may be like going after someone, giving someone an offer, a romantic offer. Some of you may be going into a new job that's going to be super auspicious. I'm seeing it be super, super, like, especially if you're in any kind of social media, or like in any kind of public venue, like I'm seeing you get public recognition. And if that's not it, you may just be giving a romantic offer that looks like is a huge win for you. Like a huge moment of empowerment. That's what I'm seeing on the horizon. I'm also simultaneously getting for some of you that there's a cup of love coming in from somebody that's going to make you feel so good. So good. There's an opening of a cycle that's coming in for you. I'm seeing it as both ways. Okay, what's the advice? Can I see advice for Virgo? What's the advice? And is there any advice we have? Wow, the Sun, the 10 of Cups, and we have Strength, which is Leo. We have double Leo. Double Leo with 10 of Cups. This is gorgeous. I was actually literally just hearing Leo, and I was like, no, I shouldn't say that. But I was hearing Leo, like literally like 1 minute ago, not even. And I believe this is Saturn and Leo, I believe. We have a lot of Leo right here, and Aquarius. There's an opening of a huge cycle where you are like, I'm seeing a complete open. I'm seeing this as you. And it's reminding me of the nine of Cups too, but there's a complete opening to like being brave and like going after your long-term happiness, whatever that looks like for you. There is a huge breakthrough of like, I'm going after this. This is what I'm doing. And you're like, I don't know if it's like a final decision you're making over like doing something huge, but it feels like there's like a grand finale. Like, I feel like that's what it feels like to me. I don't know. It's so weird. Like, it feels like you're gonna like do something like epic. Like, that's what it feels like. Like, this feels epic to me. Like, there's some move you're making that's epic. Like, and it feels like it's beautiful. Like, it's a good move. Like, it's a movement towards like some type of dream you've always had, person you've always wanted to be with, job you've always wanted to go after, and you get it. Like, this is a huge, like, whatever you're going after is 100% meeting you with the same energy. That's what I'm seeing. Like, like, if it's a person, this person like definitely is definitely wants to like have a relationship with you. 100. I feel like you would know that if it's someone you know. But some of you have a new person coming in. Some of you, like, this, it would be a wish fulfillment. It would be something you really want. It would be someone you would want to hear from. It'd be someone you would want to give to. It'd be a very, very stable relationship. If it's a relationship, it would be a very stable, abundant job. It would be a very, like, life-enhancing project or some type of purpose. Like, if whatever this is feels not only tied to relationships, it feels tied to your purpose. Like, I don't know why, but that's what it feels like to me. It's huge. Like, I cannot, like, I'm so excited for you. And it feels like it's coming after a very strong time of like, or intense time of getting to know yourself in a very deep way, but really evaluating what you think and what you want and where you want to go from here and what you want to achieve and what you need to do to like have those things happen. Okay. What's the final advice for Virgo? I'm like, that one to come out. I'll probably grab it. It says getting back to integrity, lost compass. The crossing, yes. I feel like you're being initiated into something, and I feel like you're going through a detox. This is me talk, preparing body, mind, and spirit. That's what I've been feeling like you've been doing. You repairing your body, mind, and spirit. And I'm talking in a very healing, very wholesome, very loving, compassionate, and honest, very, very honest with yourself process. You've been going through this process of like detoxing any conditioning you've had that's been keeping you from making this crossing and this initiation into a really big, wonderful, like the way you want to live your life being aligned with who you feel like you really are and who you really are and what you actually really want from a very deep and real place. And it's because you've been doing the work on your disowned self. On that orphan card, we have orphan here, and you were doing a lot of work on looking at you know, where your defenses and your fears come from, and doing that work is what's leading you into this new cycle, which is like so good. Okay, and we have the bold step forward. That's what I'm saying. You're making a huge step. And then we have also the courage to step into life. Like, you're making, I don't know what you're doing, but it feels like a very big move. Like, it's a bold move. I feel like it's a grand finale. I don't know what it is, but I want to hear it in the comments. If you have like a plan, tell me what it is, because it feels big to me. Okay, Virgo, I love you so much. Thank you so much for spending time with me, and I will see you guys next time.